every month that you guys aren't doubling ad spend, you're giving up $100,000 in cash. So you're running DM, you're running both follower ads, but it looks like the majority of the budget's going to DM ads. Is that correct?
Yeah, this one right here.
Okay.
Just let me know what you want me to click on.
Yeah, let me just read this. So this is the last 30 days, 3,000, 5,000, 1,000 custom message. And are you guys have the tracking in place to be able to see how many lead to actually qualify calls or sales? Or is it more like whatever's the lowest cost per lead is what you guys are optimizing for?
I'm not optimizing for cost per lead. It's a little bit harder with the DMs with, pixel tracking and stuff. We have inversion events set up on our demo booking pages and stuff, but I'm trying to optimize for calls.
As far as I know, the only way in DM ads to do that is something that we set up with our clients where every ad has a separate DM CTA. And then we use AI to be able to analyze the conversations that people come in and we tag them. Okay, they came in with speak. This one came in with stages, and those keywords are associated with ads. And that lets us know not only leads, but also calls and sales that came from that specific ad.
Yep. Yeah, we don't have anything that solid set up right now for DMS.
Okay. I would 1,000% you need to do that as like the next move here, because when you start getting into doubling the spend in DM funnels, the downside of that is the lack of tracking. So you're kind of just like throwing cash at meta ads, which you're at a 3x ROAS. So that's not the end of the world. But at the same time, truthfully, what you might be surprised with, Joey, is that you might find that you might have a 4, 5, or 6x ROAS on 1 or 2 of these ads that's actually producing them. That happens a lot when we start tracking these keywords. And then from there, we're able to figure out, okay, now we have a 5x ROAS on this specific ad. Let's put all the budget inside of here. And then we use that at a winning ad in order to launch new ones.
Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Cool. And so are these all the ads you run like last 30, 60, 90 days?
More or less. Yeah. We have a handful of ads that are working really well. We just spun up a bunch of new creatives that we have ready to go. Essentially 3 new bodies, 5 new hooks, all following a longer format thing that's been working. So yeah, we have those pretty much in the vault right now, ready to launch.
Can you click on the ads here too as well, just so I can see all the ads in this campaign? Okay. Can you scroll down? Okay. Yeah. And it looks like a lot of these ad creatives, like you said, they're the same creative, but you're adjusting the hook or the body slightly.
For these or new ones?
I guess both.
Yeah. So the new ones, pretty much we have one new body that's very similar to the initial one that's crushing with 5 new hooks for that one. And then we also have 2 extra bodies that we filmed. So we'll have 15 total new creatives essentially with 3 bodies and 5 hooks for each.
Yeah. So in my opinion, the amount of ad creatives that you guys have right now, it's not bad, but 2 of the major things that I notice is number 1, it doesn't seem like there is a systemic way to inject new creatives on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So I would definitely speak to your media buyer about a KPI around every 2 weeks, we should be launching 5 new creatives. And if your partner is the one that's the face of it, then they can figure out a time or a schedule or something like that. But it should really be on the media buyer to create especially with AI, create the primary text, the script, et cetera, et cetera. But the main thing keeping you from doubling your budget is going to be the amount of new creatives that you're infusing into these campaigns, because you're going to increase the spend on these, but you're probably going to be quickly capping out what each campaign, what each ad can produce for you profitably as far as your cost per lead is concerned. So what really works as far as what we've seen with Andromeda is not one ad doing $6,000 a day, but 6 ads doing $1,000 a day. That kind of creative diversity works really well. But first you have to put in place that keyword system to know which ads are actually producing. And then if you had a VA or somebody, it actually could be somewhat helpful. You can technically, through a little bit of a manual process, look and see the last 50 or 100 calls or closes that you had and look at their DM conversations on Instagram. And a lot of times it'll say view ad and actually let you see which was the specific ad they came from. And so if you just have a couple ads running, it could be worth 4 to 6 hours of a VA's time to go back in and say, this is what we're seeing is working and this is what we're not. Because right now you're flying a little blind with it. And that's worth, you pay a VA $4 an hour, you have them do it for 5 hours, you spend $20, and you essentially are able to figure out tens of thousands of dollars in opportunity cost. So it's a good return on investment. And then we take that new one, and that's the winner of that. And that's now the baseline of the format that we know works best for you guys in ads. I know you said it's 5 minutes, but it's also what's the tone, what's the pace, what's the angle, and that's the one that we're using to launch new ad creators from. And then once that's down, now you can build an an ad testing system, which is what we have with our clients, where it's like, cool, here are all of our sales call transcripts. Here are all of our winning ads. Here is our sales call scripts. And here is our ideal avatar. Create for me. You click one button and you get 3 to 5 new ads literally on a weekly basis or on a bi-weekly basis. And then they can send that over to your partner. He can film them, get that back to you. And then he should launch each of those, whatever, $50 a day, $100 a day, $200 a day. We don't have to go too deep because you're not the media buyer here, but you're just constantly injecting new ones. And the final piece I'll give you when it comes to that is, I bet you one of the reasons why you guys might be scaling spend slowly is because Facebook came out and clearly said it no longer wants the 5 hooks and 2 bodies version of things, but it wants what they call a diversity portfolio. So it's literally like, one of them is a client testimonial. One of them is your partner doing a webinar or a video sales letter slide. One of them is him walking around. One of them is him in a podcast. So that kind of creative diversity. Like right now, we have a couple of me walking around. We have a couple of me sitting. We have a couple of testimonials, individual testimonials. We also have testimonial montages where it's like all of our best testimonials trimmed together that our editors did. All of them, funny enough, have the exact same primary text and headline, but the creative itself is the thing that Andromeda cares the most about. And I've had the lowest cost per lead and cost per calls that I've really ever seen since we started adding a lot of this creative diversity in there. And it's 100 times easier to have a couple of winning ads that you can distribute budget across than to have one winning ad that you're putting all of this budget into as far as scale is concerned.
Yeah, that makes total sense.